What's up, my elite fellow Thenx athletes? It's Chris Area. Welcome to another video of Official Thenx. Today, we're gonna be talking nutrition, and I brought along Bob, my brother Stefan, and Dr. Max. Let's do it. Alright, so let's get this nutritional video started. This is our first episode to the nutrition series. So I'll start first. We want to cover our daily intake, our weekly intake, and our long terms. And we also want to cover our goals and our strategies behind it. One of the first things I want to start off by saying when it comes to nutrition is that I love, and this is like an absolute must for me, and I've gotten so conditioned to it that I do it every single day. I work out before I eat every single day, and that is one of the most beneficial, most impactful to my body, to me. Dr. Max, do you want to say anything about that?
Yes, my name is Max Orzoli, PhD in medical sociology. My background is nutritional research, and I think intermittent fasting is the way to go if you want to maximize efficiency in burning calories in your body. I'm actually a professor, and I look at specific data that actually helps support the evidence that intermittent fasting, or IF like it's called, really helps. So, Chris, the fact that you're doing it is a good example of having a really good habit to do. Usually a window between 12 to 18 hours is a good time frame to fast before you work out.
Yeah, so what I typically do is whenever I eat last, I will typically wait about 16 hours to eat again. But the majority of those hours is when I'm already sleeping. So let's say I'll eat last at 11 o'clock, sometimes 12 o'clock at night, and I won't eat until 16 hours around after, maybe around 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that. You know, but more than half of those hours I'm already sleeping. You know, I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I've already fasted those 7 hours while I'm sleeping, so it's easier that way.
Of course, and it's great because what happens is this is the time you give your body the time that it needs to rest, to heal itself, to repair any kind of muscle damage from working out. This is the time your body really needs the rest. And by not eating, you're actually helping your body repair itself quicker. So I'm so happy doing this, and the viewers probably would benefit from, you know, incorporating some of this IF in their own daily activities or lifestyles.
Yeah, so one of my personal benefits from it is, as I do it, I feel like I'm getting more shredded and more shredded. And not only just more shredded, but I feel also like it's almost like it's some type of detox. You know, I'm taking in less, and I'm also waiting for that food to actually really process through my body. And every time I do it, I feel like, especially since I'm training on an empty stomach, I am emptying the tank. As you would say, you know, from the day before, I have leftover calories, or I have leftover whatever that I've eaten before. I want to make sure that all of that is completely gone before I start eating, because if you wouldn't do this, then you would wake up in the morning, right? You would eat that oatmeal, or you eat those carbs, or whatever it is, and then now you have, you know, what you had from leftover. Then you have the breakfast on top, and if you're trying to burn weight, or if you're trying to get ripped, get shredded, take it to the next level, you're not going to hit that empty tank, because you're always, you have the leftover fuel, and then you overfuel, and then you have to get through that, and you never get through that all the way. So there's always leftover.
Absolutely.
Every day.
And I think in the fitness community, that's one of the misconceptions, that we always have to eat breakfast before you work out, and that's not always the case. When you deplete your glycogen reserves in your liver, then you're actually able to burn the fat, and you get shredded quicker. Yeah. We've been fasting as a species for millennia. Cavemen, and it's a natural. The human body naturally is always in starvation mode, and we become more efficient. It's the stress we put on our body.
But and it's actually healthier too, because you're actually taking out, you know, the cells that would normally stay inside your body. You know, so it reduces your risk of cancer and other problems as well too. And I know a lot of the viewers out there are going to say, well, that's almost impossible for me. How can I not eat breakfast? I'm so used to eating breakfast every single day. You know, I feel like if I start, I can't just stop eating breakfast. I'm going to die, or I'm going to be starving all day. How do you do it? How do you do it? So my advice on how I did it at first was, you take it gradually, just like working out. You know, you don't just start doing 10 pull-ups at one time, but versus you do the progressions toward learning how to do one perfect one, and then you take that one perfect one into multiple perfect repetitions. So what I did was, I didn't go straight into the 16 hours, but I started putting it back daily. So let's say the last time I would eat would be 11 o'clock at night, and I'm used to eating as soon as I wake up every day at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. Next day I would eat 8:30. The next day I would eat 9. The next day I would eat 9:30. The next day and I would just keep slowly pushing it back so my body can slowly get used to it. Rather as shocking my body and be like, oh, what? I'm supposed to wait 16 hours? Okay, I'm gonna do that right now. Boom. And stuff.
So what's the typical day for you? Stop eating what time in the afternoon?
So my typical day for my eating schedule is I'll wake up in the morning, I'll work out, right? I'll work out probably 2 hours, and then I won't eat. Sometimes I'll start eating at 2 p.m. Sometimes I won't eat till 5 p.m. And that's the honest truth, you know? But I'll have that window once I do start eating, whether I eat at 2 p.m. or 3 or 4, I will continue to eat whenever I want. I don't say like every 2 hours. I'll continue to eat whenever I want within that time frame until my last meal, which is normally around 12 or 11. And I typically eat around 3 meals within that amount of time.
That's good.
You know, so I'll eat like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's not breakfast, but I mean, I'll eat 3 meals within that amount of time.
And I think it's important to understand you need to keep hydrating. You need to drink plenty of non-caloric drinks, water. You want to do black coffee in the morning with no sugar, it's fine, as long as you drink lots of amounts of water throughout the day. Fasting is an amazing experience. You're going to see results really quickly.
Yeah. Have any of you guys experienced anything about this type of typical day? I know you do.
For me, I follow the same regimen as you, but I went from high obesity to weight loss. So my target was weight loss, fat burning for a year before I even thought about gaining muscle. I didn't even care about gaining muscle until I lost most of the weight. But I noticed that the first week was difficult for me to do intermittent fasting, so I started with 12 hours, and then I added an hour every day till the week was done, until I reached this 18-hour mark of not eating. And then after that, I stuck to the regimen, and I've been doing it for now 8 months. My energy level during my workouts is significantly increased. My capability has significantly increased. My intake of food is decreased. What I noticed is on my Sundays, which is my off day, is when I eat breakfast, like a traditional breakfast at 9 when you wake up and you eat it, I'm hungry throughout the whole day. But when I intermittent fast, I'm never hungry throughout the whole day. I just eat strategically.
Right.
And that's what I've been doing for the past year, or 8 months of intermittent fasting, but a year is to eat the targeted food strategically and 1 day off.
Yeah. And Bob, to add, I know when you intermittent fast, your focus level becomes sharp. You're able to focus on. There's a whole biochemistry process that happens in the brain when you fast, and that allows you to focus on what are we going to do, whether you work or working out, and that actually is a good benefit of fasting.
It's like what you were saying before. Actually, back in the day when we had to catch our food, you know, you had to focus on that animal to be able to, whether it's hitting it with a bow, you know what I'm saying, catching it. And that's why we have that heightened sense when we're hungry. Because when we're hungry is when you need to be, that's the time that catches the
That's why fasting gives you that sharpness and focus, because had not we had this particular advantage, we wouldn't exist as a species.
That's right.
We have to focus to be able to hunt. So the same applies to the modern world. It's a great thing.
Yeah, and what you were also saying was the cheat day. I mean, that's super important too. And as long as you, because everyone is human, you know, I mean, I have my cheat days as well, and that definitely, I wouldn't say it's so much as days, actually sometimes days. I mean, I wouldn't even lie, sometimes days, dude. Like sometimes I'll binge it, like 3 days or something like that, you know, I'm sure we've all been there before, but you know, life goes on, you know what I'm saying, and we recuperate, we're all human, and you really don't want to binge for 3 days at a time at all, you know, you never want to do that. You want to mess up as minimal as possible, but you want to be so consistent that if you mess up once out of the week or out of a week and a half, it's not going to make much of a difference, you know, because you're so consistently good. Just like as if you were so consistently bad, if you do one thing good out of a week and a half or 2 weeks, is it going to do anything to you? If you work out once every 2 weeks, are you going to see improvements? Absolutely not. So if you mess up once every 2 weeks, Is it going to be that detrimental to you? Absolutely
But
not.
let me add one thing to caution some of the people out there is, you know, you do have to decide what you put in your body.
And that's
once
yes.
you finish your fast. I know other people out there in the YouTube community actually say you can eat whatever you want to eat, which is not the case.
Ridiculous.
We do have cheat days, but you still have to put the right food in your system to get the benefits. So don't think because you fast for 18 hours
Yeah,
you
you're
can
just
eat
gonna get ripped.
Exactly, and that's
and you
a
can
big
eat ice
conception.
cream and cake, and that's all bullshit.
And I am telling you from research, it's fasting is wonderful, but you have to put the right
The work.
the
It's
work
got
and
to
the
be
right
the,
food.
the recipe,
Exactly.
the formula, the
Exactly.
way in which you do it. You can't just do it and expect these
You
results.
need to be clean.
Yeah, it's like trying to do a handstand. You know, it's like, oh, so to do a handstand, you go up against the wall and you hold it. Well, yeah, you do that, but that's not all you do. You just don't go and handstand against the wall
Right.
or just kick up into a handstand. Eventually, you learn how to handstand. There's
Right.
techniques and recipes and formulas behind it, which you
Right.
can learn all on Thenx.com. You know, that will take you to get there. You can't. You
Absolutely.
know, you try to kick up into a handstand for the rest of your life. You'll be learning how to
Absolutely.
do a handstand for 2 years. You know, so it's all about training smart and eating smart. So what I was saying before is if you are consistently good with your eating, then you are going to be on the right path. So, like for example, you want to eat clean, and what I mean by clean is lean meats. You know, you want to eat your greens, especially a lot of greens, and that's what I mean. You can't just be fasting, like you said, and be eating ice cream, but just, oh, I'm doing it in the right time frame. It has to be the right meals, the right type
Very
of food.
important.
So let's go into the actual type of food that we eat, but before we do, Stefan, would you do, for our last intermittent fasting, do you do anything like this?
Yeah, I do intermittent fasting, but I don't do it purposely. I more do it out of my own schedule. I wake up really early. I wake up at like 4:50 in the morning, so I don't have time to make a breakfast. So I more do it out of my schedule. I don't purposely.
But you notice a benefit from it?
Definitely. I mean, during the weekends, you know, when I don't have to wake up that early and I don't have any clients to train, I eat when I wake up, just similar to your Sundays. And I have that same experience where I am more hungry during the day. And I do probably intake a lot more calories than a normal day.
When you don't fast.
Exactly.
I also got used to it naturally like that too, because my schedule just happened to do that. And plus, I was never really a morning breakfast person, but I know for those people that are, that you need to take it slow.
But by the way, it's a misconception. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the
Yeah.
day. This is a hype that's been sold to us, but if you look at the literature, this is the kind of research that I do. Breakfast, by no means, there was no fast food joints 5,000 years ago, 200 years ago. People did not have the right to go and just eat breakfast when
Kellogg's
they wanted.
cereal.
Kellogg's is the
It's hunt, and whenever you catch it, it's your first
exactly.
meal.
So
It's not break at the morning.
Yeah,
you
dude,
know?
I haven't been eating breakfast for like years, dude. For like 6 years, I haven't been eating breakfast. So it's like, what the?
absolutely, and the natural state of the body is to be fit, to be ripped, to be athletic, to have functional movements, and fasting helps you get those gains.
Yeah, so we're running close on time, so let's move into the actual stuff that we actually eat, right? So let me cover that really quick. So my basic eating pattern, what I do is I fluctuate between 3 days, which is day one, I'll have carbs, protein. Second day is half carbs, all protein, right? So I'll eat carbs for just half of my meals, or I'll just have it for one meal. And then the third day, I won't have any carbs at all and just protein. I mean, there's things that are obviously going to be carbs, like if you have greens like spinach and lettuce, it's gonna have carbs, but it's more reduced carbs, you know. So, but sometimes I'll also just eat the chicken by itself. But mainly, I just have really reduced carbs. So I'll have like chicken and spinach, and like that's it. You know what I'm saying? And that would be the third day. And then so, like you were saying, Bob, how for you it might be hard to just continue to do that every day, because sometimes you need some carbs in you, because that's just the way your day works. It's natural. And so if I ever come across a day where I can't just follow that schedule, where I'm eating day one carbs, day two half carbs, day three no carbs, and protein every single day, then I'll switch it up. So one day will be carbs. If the next day I feel like I can't do the half carbs, I can't do the no carbs, I'll do half carbs. If I feel like if I can do extra, I'll do extra, and then I'll also work it out on my body. But I'll never
compensate for the next
exactly. But I never do one day more than twice consistently. You know what I'm saying? So I always switch it every single time. And when it comes to the proteins that I eat are normally, when it comes to daily, it's normally white beans. But actually, I've lately been eating a lot of salmon, a lot of eggs. Like this is like almost every single day. Eggs is like one of the best ones. I feel like I always get super jacked like whenever I eat that.
Yes.
And I feel super tight. Eggs, salmon, and chicken. Those are like the 3 things that I recycle. And tuna. That. And then my carbs is like, on my actual carb days, I'll eat sometimes sweet potatoes, sometimes brown rice, but I don't eat rice too often, but more things with thicker carbs in it, but also like you said, healthy carbs for you. You can't just go and eat potato chips and be like, there's my carbs. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the message that a lot of people don't get, that you have to put in the right carbs.
Yeah, because you won't look like this.
Like you won't
sure. You'll never look like this if you're eating potato chips every day, and that's your carbs.
And that's and also we talked about the macros. We got to also emphasize the micro nutrients, which are the key to building a really good fit body. You got to get the leafy greens like spinach, kale, arugula, watercress. Get these things into your diet. Yeah. Those are going to give you the essential minerals, zinc, magnesium, things to build, things to increase your testosterone as a guy, things that are going to really help you grow. So everybody talks about the macros, but the micros are very important, not so more.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And how about you guys? Let's wrap it up in the next minute.
For me, I take proteins like you. I don't like salmon, but I like fish. I like steak. I love steak, and I like chicken. Tuna is definitely in there because it supplements a variety. My carbs that I like to eat is quinoa and what's it called? Greek yogurt.
Nice.
Yeah, my diet isn't too complex. I mean, I don't have like any specific goal or specific diet, and it really varies from day to day, week to week. But there are times when I'll try and do a low carb week and then I'll have like a higher carb week. But I don't do it purposely. It's just the way I feel and the way I live. If I feel like I'm looking a little bloated, then I'll start cutting my calories, cutting my carbs. If I feel like lifting heavier, I'll add on more carbs, more calories.
This is the beautiful thing, is that what we're saying is we're trying to mix the amounts of macros and micro, because our bodies need that changes. The same way we change the routines when we work out physically, we got to do it when we consume food also. We got to mix it up, because that's the way we get an array of different nutrients.
Exactly.
Both the macro and the micro, that's what we have to do.
Yeah, just like you shock your body when you train,
Absolutely.
You need to shock your body as you eat as well.
Absolutely.
And you keep it on its toes. So, just to recap for this episode, we talked about 1, following your body. You can't always follow a strict pattern. You try to, that's the goal, but mainly it's to follow your body. When you feel like you need something, you go for that. If you feel like you just need to take that day off, it's okay, because it's not, the goal isn't next week, it's a lifestyle. It happens, you're gonna be doing this to the day you die. You're gonna be working out every single day if you really want to make this change with your life. So you have to make it so that you can live with it. So follow your body, follow your instincts, follow what feels natural to you, but also stay on track. You want to eat good consistently. If you work out, empty the tank before you eat breakfast, that is so great for working out. Will get you shredded super fast. Breakfast is a misconception, and intermittent fasting is a great supplement to getting sick shredded, but you can't just eat whatever you want. You have to eat good, you have to eat smart, you have to eat clean, and you have to do it consistently. And yes, you can mess up, and it's totally normal to mess up. We do it every day in our lives, but you are so good, you are so determined, you are so on track, and you are so disciplined with what you are doing on the positive side that nothing negative can even remotely affect that, right? So thank you guys so much for watching our nutrition video. This is the first episode to our series. We're gonna have a lot more coming very soon. Don't forget to sign up right now to Thenx.com to change your life and change your whole lifestyle. Get in the best shape of your life right now. Follow us on Instagram at Thenx. And until next time, guys, see you.